They said it couldn't be done, and they were probably right, but we're going to do it anyway.
And by it, we mean try to explore Venice, Italy in as short a time as possible.
We've only got like 3.5 hours to try and figure this out, and so we're going to do it right here in Venice.
San Marco Square, the Rialto Bridge, the Grand Canal. Can we do this?
All right, we've done a lot of really crazy things in our day, but this one truly might be the craziest.
When you're trying to get to 5 countries in just 7 days, there is no time to dilly-dally.
This place is magnificent. It's stupendous. It's tremendous. It's wonderful. It's not overrated. It's absolutely magnificent. Did I say that one already?
And even if you don't quite travel the way we do, there's a lesson in this trip for everyone.
It's unforgettable, mesmerizing, historic, all of those things and more.
You don't have to plop yourself down in one spot for 2 weeks to get a feel for the place.
We're in Venice, baby.
Sometimes you can do it in just a couple of hours.
It truly is one of the most fantastic cities on the entire planet. The question is, can you really explore this place in like 3.5 hours? We're about to find out in this episode of Window Seat. All right, I can't believe we're actually doing this. We just arrived by train in Venice, Italy, and we've only got less than 4 hours to explore this place. How much damage can we do? We're about to find out.
Before we do, quick rewind on what the last 48 hours have been like. My son Charlie and I are trying to hit 5 countries in 7 days, so we flew Denver to Munich, spent 24 hours there, hopped a flight to Bologna, and when we got there, decided, hey, we've got a few extra hours to spare, and we're only an hour-and-a-half train ride to Venice. Let's do it. We calculated that if we caught the last train of the night back to Bologna, we'd have 4 hours in the famous city on stilts. Every minute is going to count. But
the train was 23 minutes late, so that means we got about 3.5 hours in Venice, really. But I know we can make the most of it.
Thankfully, the train station is literally right in the middle of it all, dumps you out right by the water taxis and canals, and no time is wasted checking out this famous city built on more than 100 islands, connected by canals and bridges, famous for its gondolas and architecture and grandeur and tourists, lots and lots of tourists.
It's a funny thing about Venice, a lot of people don't like it. They swear there are too many tourists here, and they're probably right about that. There are tens of thousands of people who flood this island every single day, but I'm telling you, tourists aside, and we're 2 of them, there's a magic about this place that you just can't find anywhere else. It is spectacular. I mean, so spectacular, Jeffrey Bezos had to get married here, right? That says something. He could have gone anywhere.
First off, moment of appreciation for the architecture here. The very oldest structures here date back to the 12th and 13th centuries, but the reality is this watery city is actually 1,600 years old. And you better get here while you can because, yes, it is sinking. The buildings are built on wooden stilts moored in the Adriatic Sea, and because of their weight and natural ground movement and sea level shifts, this place has sunk over the last century. But wow, just look at it.
Gravity defying structures ready to fall into the Adriatic at any given moment. It sure paints a pretty picture.
All right, before we get too apocalyptic here, let's start exploring. And the first thing to do is to get out on the water. And thankfully, they make that quite easy with their water buses, known as the Vaporetto. It's the public transportation here. You can ride them along the major canals, including the famed Grand Canal, by purchasing a ticket at one of many Vaporetto stops throughout the city. A single ride ticket is €9.50. A 24-hour pass is €20.
I mean, when I talk about how Venice is magnificent, this is what I'm talking about. This is their version of a bus, essentially, that sort of stops all along the canals, picking people up, dropping them off. Is there a better bus view than this? If you want a more intimate experience, of course, you're going to want to do the gondola, or you could do a private water taxi, which is another cool way to get around. But these little boats that transport hundreds of people at a time, good way to do it too. And it's pretty cheap.
Quick note before we go any further, as great as Venice is, it is easy to become a victim here.
That's a good point. There are lots of pickpockets here. You've probably seen that lady who calls them out on social media. I love that lady. She's so great. She yells, "Pickpocket!
Attenzione borseggiatrici! Attenzione pickpocket!"
It is a problem here. You probably saw in the news the American mom of 8 who caught a pickpocket who'd stolen her purse. It had AirTags in it, so she knew where to find it. The American woman held her by the ponytail until help arrived.
You stole my purse with my passport in it. Police!
It's fantastic, but they are prevalent here. There are signs all over Venice warning you to be on the lookout. So wear one of those crossbody bags, keep your passport and your wallet tight, close to you, and you should be good to go. One way to sort of get away from the tourists is just find a back alley, a side canal. They're actually pretty quiet. You can feel like you have the place to yourself, for a few minutes anyway, until the crowds show up. And you'll notice that everybody's got their face in their camera, trying to make sure that selfie turned out just the way they hoped it would. And they're really not paying attention to the other tourists or the surroundings. This has absolutely got to be the selfie capital of the world. There might be a couple places in Asia that give it a serious run for its money, but half the time you're here, you're going to be dodging tripods and selfie sticks and people taking pictures of themselves. Again, it's because of the iconic backdrop. I get it, but just know going in that there's a lot of pictures being taken.
All right, now let's make our way to the beating heart of Venice, the place that traces its roots to the 9th century, the political, religious, and social center of the city for centuries.
Of course, this is San Marco Square, sort of the most famous part of all of Venice, and that's really saying something because there's, famous historic stuff all over this place, but this is definitely one stop where you're going to want to come, spend some time, and inevitably spend some money, too.
There are lots of souvenir shops and cafes around San Marco Square, lots of places to drop in for a sweet treat or perhaps a grown-up beverage.
If you're an adult and you don't have kids hanging on to you the whole time you're in Venice, you're definitely going to want to make a stop at the most famous bar in this entire city, Harry's.
Harry's Bar in Venice was founded by Giuseppe Cipriani in 1931, famous as the watering hole for the likes of Ernest Hemingway and Orson Welles, and it was the birthplace of iconic dishes and cocktails like Carpaccio and the Bellini. It's so famous, it's now a national landmark because of its significance to 20th century Venetian culture.
Okay, so now we've made our way to the back streets, the back alleys near San Marco Square, and we're going to try and find some pasta. I think we just did. Let's check this out.
Pick a restaurant, any restaurant, they'll probably all be just fine. We found a pasta joint right on the beaten path. Decent prices, fine food. There is definitely fancy and pricey dining in this city, and we'll put a couple links in the description to some high-end places you should try if you have the time and inclination and money. My son is no foodie. In typical American fashion, he just wanted spaghetti. I'm sure the waiters thought we were classless buffoons, but oh well, we're hardly the first. And after dinner, of course, comes dessert.
All right, I've made my choice. It is a pistachio cannoli. Oh, that's all chocolate. We got to go check that out.
Too much chocolate.
Oh, well, let's check it out. There's a chocolate fountain.
We stumbled onto Nino and Friends. It's a chocolate shop in Venice with a chocolate fountain in the window and all kinds of treats inside. Your kids are absolutely going to love this place, so be sure to check it out.
All right, next up here, we're coming up on the Rialto Bridge. It's a cool, iconic bridge over the Grand Canal, full of shops, tourist stuff. So, and pickpockets, as Charlie points out. So keep an eye out for all that stuff. Let's take a look.
It is the most famous bridge in Venice, perhaps the most famous in all of Italy. Millions of people come here every year to have their picture taken because it's sort of the ultimate Venice backdrop. It's the oldest bridge in Venice. The current stone structure dates back to the end of the 16th century, but a bridge has actually existed in this spot since at least the 11th century. And from here, you can get some of the best views of the Grand Canal.
Fun story, I stayed for my honeymoon in that pink hotel back there called the Hotel Rialto. I also got stuck in the elevator once the second time I came to Venice. So lots of memories in that pink hotel over there. This is a great part of the Grand Canal, very busy. So this is where you'll have a lot of crowds to contend with, really all over town. But that's one of the reasons you got to find some of these back alleys and side canals to really experience Venice.
If you want to know what it's like to get stuck in an elevator in Venice, we'll put a link to that video in the description below. Meantime, the clock is ticking and our time in Venice is running out.
I got to be honest, I had my worries that you would be able to get the full Venice experience in just 3.5 or 4 hours, but the reality is, I think you can. Because this is the kind of town where you're here for a little while and you're like, okay, I get it. It's amazing, it's wonderful, but I kind of get it and I can move on now and keep on going. So, as much as I love the place, I do think you can really experience this place in just about 3 hours. And that's what we've done, three and a half. So pretty cool. I'm happy about it. I think it was a good decision. Train ride cost us a couple $100 round trip. Money well spent, I think, if you ask me.
Bottom line, no, this is not the way most people like to travel. But if you're trying to cover a lot of ground in a short period of time, no need to linger. Just squeeze as much as you can out of a short visit and keep on moving. If your goal, like ours, is to see as much of the world as possible, time is of the essence.
All right, so there you have it. 3.5-ish, 4-ish, whatever, hours in Venice. It wasn't much time, but we got a lot done with the thanks of my little guy here, Charlie, who's not so little anymore, taller than me. So there you have it. What do you think? Did we accomplish what we should have accomplished in Venice while we were here? Is there more we should have done? Let us know in the comments below what we should have hit but missed, because we'll be back, I guarantee it. Third time here and many more to come. Also, if you'd hit like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate that too, because we're going to catalog our journeys as we travel all over the world. Right, bud boy? He doesn't know what I'm talking about. We're at 80 plus countries right now, with 100 some odd still to go. We're back with a brand new episode of Window Seat next Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, check out one of these other videos from Window Seat, and arrivederci. I think I said that right. Do you roll the R's in Italian? I don't know. Arrivederci. Goodbye.